Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. How lovely to be with you. Saturday night, nothing gets past me. 9 o'clock sharp, of course. And we've got lots to get through tonight. We've only got 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education and entertainment for not just one nation, but for all the nations of the world. How lovely to be with you, and a big dinky-doo, I say to you. Now then, let's see what is what tonight. As soon as you come on, tell us where you're watching from so that I can actually get a bit of a handle on it and we can have a chit-chat. The Watery Leaf says, morning, Scottie. Watery Leaf, I take it you're in the other side of the world. Big John has joined us, Steelman's joined us, Josiah's joined us, Sky has joined us, Dinky-Doo, Melinda, greetings, sweet Scottie, from South Mississippi. Greetings, sweet Melinda. How lovely to have you with us from South Mississippi. We love it. Bless you, I say. Mwah! Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Now then, I tell you, Morty, I tell you. Hi, Scottie. It's me again from South Africa. Josiah, we love you in South Africa. Are you having a braai tonight? I think we should tell us. Opinions of Fortnite, Scottie. Well, can you play it once a week? That's what I want to know. I tell you. Hey, Scottie and everyone. Amy has joined us. Dinky-Doo, Amy. How lovely to have you with us. Welcome, 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 I say. Greetings to all from the lovely Melinda in South Mississippi. The Missouri flows into the Mississippi. Am I right, Melinda? There we go, I tell you. Now then, who else have we got here? Always, mate, always fantastic. We braai every week, says Josiah. Apparently you can never, ever put rice on a braai or it would go off like petrol, I've been told. I say to you, if you could have any superpower other than to see... Oh, wait a minute, hang on a second. Let's get rid of this guy. These people are poison. Guys, there's somebody who's just registered as user, but they're poisoning these people. So let's get rid as soon as we can. Wonderful, I say to you. That's the end of him. All right. Good stuff. Gone. Okay. Now, guys, any trolling, straight away, lifetime ban. You'll never be back. The last king of Scotland, I tell you. Dinky-Doo. Scottie, you're early for a change. And up to heed, we're always sharp on here. We're always sharp, you see. I tell you. Amy wants to know what time it is in Mississippi. Is it 4 p.m.? Opinion on Fergus Lee. Well, I'll tell you, Fergus Lee, they should have saved the whole lot and get it done up, I'll tell you. The Figgy Park. But if you go right back to Edwardian times, the address for the Coates of the Coates thread mills, J&P Coates, they lived at Fergus Lee Park. So that was originally their estate and mansion, I tell you. I can't remember seeing Fergus Lee House, so it must have gone. Melinda says it's 3 p.m. Central Time in Mississippi at the mouth of the Pascagoula. Melinda, I did look it up, and the countryside is quite stunning. Have you also got the islands and the flooding round about, though? Do you have a bit of that? Cheers, Melinda, says Amy. Fantastic. Melinda is very much part of the big family on here now. I can tell you. So there we are. Now, what else have we got? Lots and lots of you joining us tonight. Are you for Scottish independence? Well, I'm not political, as everyone knows, but I think economically Scotland would do very, very well on its own, away from Westminster, because Scotland gives all of its income to Westminster. Westminster give them a little bit of pocket money back, and 88 billion Scotland gave to Westminster last year. So I think really economic independence, that would be it. Full fiscal autonomy. I may well have been. Now then, David's just joined us. Dinky-Doo. Where's the microphone? Have you broken it yet, Scottie? It's here and up to heed. Can you hear me all right? I'll put it up so you can see it. There's the new microphone, folks. Isn't it beautiful? I tell you, a very, very kind donation to the show. So there we go. We're not monetized on the YouTube channel, of course, but if anybody's feeling flush, there is a GoFundMe, and you'll see it floating about. Loud and clear, my good man, says the wonderful Murray O'Donnell. Murray, how are we tonight? Is it barbecue stuff? Is it a dram in the garden? What? I tell you. So there we are. Good evening, a Numpty Heed from Susan. She wants to know if Numpty Hood's all right. Numpty Heed or Numpty Hood. We can clearly hear you. Thank you, Josiah. That's wonderful, because this is a very, very classy piece of kit. Is it better like that, or was it okay where it was? Shout out to my niece, Leah. It's her communion tomorrow. Absolutely. Scottie, what degree did you do? I did arts. I tell you, glad to see you doing well, David. Thank you so much. Yes, McClue. Yes, DINKY-DOO. Fantastic. Hi, Murray O'Donnell, says the wonderful Melinda. There we are. Murray, have you said hello to Melinda? She's very much part of the family, I say. I'll put the mic down there if it's not a problem. Can you still hear me loud and clear? Somebody give us a bit of feedback back. I tell you. Now, there we go. Do we want that down? What's going on here? Let's see what's going on here. Now, loud and clear. Lois and clear, says Josiah. Lois, I think a bit of predictive text there. Quite loud and clear, mate, says Big Papa. Loud and clear, even in Africa, says Josiah. Josiah, isn't it marvellous? You know, in days gone by, we'd have shouted out the window. And here we are. I'm talking away in Scotland, and you're listening in Africa. Hello, Scottie, big island in Hawaii. Da-dee-dee-dee. Who will win in the Champions League final in Paris? Saint-Germain or Inter Milan? I could not tell you. I tell you, it's truly amazing. It's refreshing to see kindness and class on this app. Big Papa, there shouldn't be anything else in the world except kindness. And I don't know about class as in classy, style as in out the top drawer like you and I. I tell you, there we go. That's what it's all about, I say to you. Now then, Numpty Heed, you've gone very quiet tonight. Is the Eurovision on as well? What I would suggest, get Scottie McClue on your television and get the Eurovision on your phone, if you need to know what's going on here. Scottie, you should be hosting the Eurovision. Oh, Numpty Heed, you are kind. I know I should, actually. I would go as far as that. My great favourite, Kenneth McKellar, was once our candidate for the Eurovision, remember? Fantastic. Who else did we have? Was it Clodagh Rogers we had? Tremendous. Yes. Bucks Fizz, all that sort of stuff. Do you remember Dana? Dana was amazing. Absolutely. Lulu, yes, Lulu, absolutely, Amy. Wonderful. Why do you like Trump? He wants nothing but money out of our country. Guess I've never heard so much nonsense in all my life. Donald Trump has just been on a tour of the Middle East, right at the very top of everything. He's brought back £4 trillion to America. Right? £4 trillion in a week. Now that's a good rate as far as I'm concerned. And I know about good quality wages. So there we go. KM, the best tenor of all time, Melinda Lemon. What a princess you are. You speak my language. I tell you, what do you think of the war in Ukraine? I think there's a lot more to it than we're actually seeing or being told. And I'm going to leave it at that because the platforms don't like you discussing it. Sell Scotland for £1 to Trump, says Ian. Well, you know, Ian, you could get worse dues. Because if he came to Scotland and brought £4 trillion in, you know what I mean? I mean, the Scottish financial sector is worth, northwards of £1.5 trillion, I would say. But if he brought £4 trillion in a week, Scottie, grow a beard and wear a dress if you want to get noticed. Ah, that's dying off now, Numpty Head. The beard and the dress, I tell you. Who was it used to do it, the DJ guy? Kenny Everett. Remember, he used to play women in his comedy show, and he had the beard, of course, and he just kept the beard in the best possible taste. Oh, fantastic. Now then, I'm just going to give some up down. Very hot in the studio tonight. Scotland. Yes. Oh. In the winter, we thought we'd started global cooling. I tell you. Yes, defo, Scottie. Absolutely, Ian. And we could be back in business. I mean, I would like to see what have our politicians brought in hard cash to their patch. And if they're not bringing stuff in terms of trade deals and businesses and all that, what are they doing there? The last time you were on the radio, I tell you, that in itself is super amazing from Trump. Absolutely. I mean, our own royals, who are a bargain, bring in about maybe $2 billion a year, you know? And I mean, President Trump, $4 trillion to America. What you'll find is America will become very, very rich. All right, Scottie, greetings from Bishop Riggs. Jamesy, how lovely to have you with us from Bishop Riggs. That's what it's all about, I say. Now then, who have we got? Gaius, what are you thinking? Gaius is telling us he's a Tory. Oh, yes, bit of a difficult to find them these days, I tell you. Scorching in the Shire today, Scottie. Murray, it's so beautiful out that way. I can remember at one time, it was spring, I think, and I was out painting a house at Portmanteith, you know, doing a bit of painting for somebody, Portmanteith, and it was just so beautiful, I tell you. Now, who have we got here? And then, of course, you could stop off for one on the way home at the hotel at the bottom of the hill. You know, absolutely. Hello, Scottie from Ontario. We love having you on from Ontario. Huron, Erie, Ontario. Whoa, I've just been given a beautiful gift. Thank you for achieving our gifts. The palace serves the worst coronation chicken sandwiches ever. Thank goodness I'm not royal. Professor Numpty Head, how do you know this? Right, we need to have a little bit more evidence. Until then, I don't believe you. Yes, because I think it was Her Majesty, the Queen, or late Majesty, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth II, who, did she not invent the coronation chicken? Or her chefs invented it for her? So there you are, a bit of coronation chicken, I tell you. So there you are, but you're not going for the food, Numpty Head, you're going for the prestige. I remember watching the crowd and the chap that was playing. Lord Mountbatten had called in to see Queen Elizabeth, and he said about the palace food that everything that was hot should be cold and everything that was cold should be hot. Serving great food. I can remember it is a thing. I mean, I've hung around with a few sort of swanky characters in their day, and they are genuinely interested in the food at places. So it's when they would go to such and such a place, a castle or a palace or something, well, the food was pretty good, I have to say. Or the other great one is, the food's not great, but you get lots of it. All right, Scottie, I tell you, DINKY-DOO, guys. So there we go. So I think you're going to have to spill Numpty Head. Otherwise, we'll have to just take it that you've, you know, had a bad experience somewhere with coronation chicken. Are you sure somebody didn't tell you you were at the palace? There we are. Now, what have you got? Would you like to buy radioactive rocks from me? If you don't mind, I'll pass on that. Are all rocks not radioactive to a greater or lesser extent? I ask you, not I tell you, I ask you. So there, thank you for my flash go, guys. That was so kind of you. Get off. A little beast flying about in the studio. Yes, who ordered that? Now then, what else have we got? Let's get on to business here and see what's what. Up the Army Air Corps, absolutely, Frankie. We salute you, sir. We salute the Army Air Corps. Now, what else have we got here? I'm just reading all your stuff. This is great. Melinda, how do you know you're Kenneth McClue? Outstanding man. And he used to, when I was a student, he used to come in for lunch and I would see him. Hello from the Royal Borough, a.k.a. the Cradle of Royal Stuarts. So if you're at the Cradle of Royal Stuarts and you're at the Royal Borough, what are we talking? Are we talking Paisley? Are we talking Paisley or Renfrew? Are we talking Renfrew? Yes. Where is the Royal Borough, the Cradle of the Royal Stuarts? So there we are. Now, what do we got? Renfrew, spot on, Ramey. I think you've got McClue Road in Renfrew. And apparently you've got the new bridge, is that right? You're the man, big guy. So are you, Ramey. You're the man. And we love Renfrew, the Renfrew Road. I'll tell you. Used to get boats built at Renfrew by Hugh McLean. Hugh McLean. There we are. They were the boat builders. I used to listen to you when you're on Hallam FM and Magic AM, the secondary school. I went to the Scottie McClue fan club. Do you know, P.A. Grant, I think you should keep an eye on Sheffield and South Yorkshire essentials. Because as you know, your local radio stations are starting to disappear. So there's a big gap in the market there. So I would get into that. It's a fantastic station. And I've been having a bit of a chat with one of the big bosses. So we'll see what's to do there. I tell you. Well, thank you, Brian, for my beautiful flame heart. It's absolutely incredible, I say to you. Got quite lucky on YouTube and heard the music of the Hebrides album, a concept album. Changed the old gal's life. Melinda, I can't believe this. You wouldn't have heard me on the radio, but Kenneth McClue was a big, big player on the radio. Yeah, and I've got just about all of his stuff here. And of course, his My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. And I didn't know when Kenneth died, his funeral service or his memorial service was at Paisley Abbey. Now, my family gave the monks the land to build Paisley Abbey way back. And that was your Steward, Walter Steward. Yes. And Marjorie Bruce and all that stuff. So my lot were in there. And I arrived at the Abbey and a lovely lady was showing some people around and she said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Kenneth McClue's service." She said, "Oh, it was this morning." But I saw it on the television, you know, but just a wonderful man. And of course, a director of Radio Clyde. Yes, Glasgow's top station launched in 1973. Wonderful. DINKY-DOO, my old friend. Sean, how lovely to have you with us. That tears me to pieces, that song. Tears me or tears me? Oh my God, Scottie, what a story. Oh my. Yes, and as I say, Melinda, when I was a student at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama, Kenneth would come in and have lunch with the head of singing. And the two of them would banter away. It was great. And I can remember I was singing while we were waiting, and somebody said, "You're just singing because you know Kenneth McClue's in." And I thought, Kenneth McClue, oh my goodness. And then when I worked for Scottish Opera, Kenneth wasn't big on actually singing the opera, but he sang oratorio, and I mean, he was a wonderful classical singer. Comfort ye my people from Handel, you know, that sort of stuff. And then his Scottish songs, and they weren't easy to sing, these songs. Any singer will tell you. And I said to an accompanist once, did you ever accompany Kenneth McKellar? And he said, once. He spent most of the time warming up. He spent more time warming up than he did actually singing. And I thought, that's why he was so good. So there we go. I tell you, his sacred songs are stellar. Well, Melinda, the gentleman playing for that album of sacred songs, was one of the lecturers at the Academy. Wonderful man. The organist, George McPhee. And I remember Mr. McPhee well from the college. I used to have conversations with him. And he was the organist and choir master at Paisley Abbey. And he directed that. And they recorded it at 7 o'clock in the morning. And the police stopped any traffic because they knew the traffic noise, because the Abbey is right in the centre of Paisley. And they knew that the noise may be a distraction. And Kenneth said to George, you've got an hour. In other words, after that hour, he would be sung out. So if they wanted to try anything again, you know, no problem. Jerusalem, the holy city. What does it mean wearing that gold medal on your hat? The gold medal is a Scottie McClue DINKY-DOO badge. I tell you. No one asks, says Stephen. Everyone asks, Stephen. Everyone. Remember that you're maybe not mainstream. Truly charming, Scottie, says Derek DINKY-DOO. And there's a half-wit saying Scottie doesn't have a clue. Shall we get rid of him? Yay. Lifetime ban for the trolls. There's Tail gone. Lifetime ban for Tail. Ooh. Bye, Tail. Everybody shout before he goes. There we go. That's that done. There we are. We don't want people cheeking up. There's no need for it. I don't cheek up to them. Truly charming. Yes, indeed. Good evening, Scottie. How are you doing? I've had a bit of a dicky stomach sickness last 48 hours. So the wonderful Glenn from Sheffield in the Midlands. Glenn, what have they been feeding you in the Midlands? You need to get back to Sheffield and get proper fish and chips. Oh, my rendition of both is unmatched. The Holy City. Last night I lay sleeping, there came a dream so fair. Oh, absolutely wonderful. And Melinda said, McPhee, yes, George, absolutely, who is still playing the organ. I tell you. Good evening from Falkirk, Scottie. I hope you're doing well, sir. The Flying Scotsman. We love you in Falkirk, Flying Scotsman. I tell you. Unmatched till now. Oh, Melinda. Are you taking calls, Scottie? Glenn, yes, I can take a call, but if you've got a dicky tummy and you have to dash off, then, just let us know. There's no problem. Nothing worse, I say. Time for a comfort break here. A mop down. Do you like the mop down? Hey, hey. Oh, never a dull moment. I say, whoop. There we go. And that's with every bit of heat off, guys. So get that heat off before I go into the studio. Scottie, you're going to watch Sheffield United in the final. Well, Janet, I mean, it would be rude not to, wouldn't it? Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday. Good to see everyone. KM was my mother's favourite singer. This is Alice. Alice says, good to see everyone. KM, Kenneth McKellar, was my mother's favourite singer in her last few months. We used to listen to him for hours on end, singing along to the midges. The midges, I'm no going to kid yous. Her favourite was I'll Walk Beside You. I'll walk beside you to the land of dreams. Oh, stop. It gets me there. I have to take a moment, I tell you. Professor Upteed, have you followed up in Rockall? Hello, you're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that? Hello? Can we hear you? Hang on, stay where you are. Don't dash off. Let's see if we've got everything here. Speakers? Yeah, we've got the speakers. So why can I not hear you? I ask you. This is not good. Why am I not hearing you? Alice says we brought her coffin into I'll Walk Beside You. That's so beautiful, Alice. I'll tell you. So there we go. Now then, what else have we got? Why are we not hearing you, though? This is what I want to know. Keep ringing. Hello, you're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that? We need to check the settings, guys, I think. See what's going on here. Ah. I'm just checking settings here. Checking the settings, guide, to see that we can... Hello, you're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that? Right, we've got a wee problem with the phones, guys. I tell you, just bear in mind. Let's be big. Let's put, as a friend of mine said, let's put our big boy pants on and see if we can sort it here and now. Would that not be good? If we could sort it here and now. So it's in English, right? And I've got that. Yeah, we've got that. Excellent. And I'm just looking, guys, to see all the devices are working. Ah. Right. Right. I think we've cracked it. Whoever was ringing, ring me again. And let me see. You're live on Scotty's Phone In. Can you hear me?
Scotty, hello, it's Kareem. How are we?
Oh, Kareem, this is wonderful. I fixed it. I put on... I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone and they went, get your big boy pants on.
How are we, Scotty?
We're brilliant now that we've got the phones working. When you add new equipment, Kareem,
yes,
sometimes you have to just monitor it for a bit, you know, and we've... Oh, I don't know. I'm not in any way blowing any trumpets, but we've just done some amazing things with this phone-in, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, Scotty, absolutely. But there's always gremlins, as you know. There's always these wee gremlins.
And as you know, Kareem, with IT, it's the tiniest click.
Yeah.
You know, I used to take my car, well, I still do, to this wonderful, wonderful garage. They're not just fitters, they're motor engineers. And if there's anything wrong with the car, the question they used to ask me was, what have you touched? And I said, do you touch? Because they knew I was one for fiddling with the car to see if I could fix it myself, you know.
Yes. No.
So I would say we've got a wee fuel problem here. Right, okay. Now, what have you touched?
I had that issue. I actually, for the first time, I managed to get a brand new car, Scotty. and it's the newest model. I don't know if you've seen them, because I didn't like the older models, but this is, you wouldn't know it was this car, and it's called, I don't know if you know the car, Dacia Duster.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen them, yes. Very
It's
sweet.
the newest model. It's the newest model, doesn't look like the original ones at all.
Right.
However, there was an update with the, you know, everything's done on the computer now, so there was an update, and oh my God, the car just wouldn't work, or there was so much gremlins. I had to reboot it all and start it again, and touch wood, it's done the job.
Wonderful. Yes, wonderful. No, it's so quick. I mean, I spoke to, my car had broken down, and when the, what do I call them now? The company that assists you with breakdowns,
Yes.
when they came, the guy said, I'm a fully trained mechanic, he said, but I'm actually an IT man now most of the time. So he was they were plugging the cars into the computer and going, yes, number 2 valve sticking there, you know, this kind of thing.
It's amazing now what they can do, and it's you know, this new car is like, if I pull out the lane a little bit, the wheel pushes me back. Actually, I lose control of the wheel and it pushes me back into the lane. The first time it happened, I really crashed the car. Couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, I remember my uncle had got a beautiful big Rover 3.5 when they came out. And he was telling my father about the kick down, and he said, oh, I got an awful fright when it went off, Archie.
Oh, oh, yes.
The kick down, you know, these automatic kick downs, and away they went, you know. And I had one that you set the cruise, and it would kick down when it was climbing a hill on the motorway.
Right, okay.
So it would just automatically put itself down a gear, and and it does get a wee bit scary.
It's amazing now what cars can do, and you know that even these newest cars, that it'll be a matter of time before you just sit in your car and it will drive you to wherever you want to go.
Yeah, that scares me a little bit, actually, though, I have to say, you know, but you know, probably by the time that all gets a grip.
Yeah.
Now then, how are things, Kareem? What's happening in the real world? Because you're the man to tell me.
Well, I don't. I've stepped back a little bit, Scottie. Just fixing my mental health hasn't been brilliant recently.
This is this COVID stuff, I take it.
It's, yes, and other things as well. I've been fine with the long COVID recently, but the last 2 weeks it's kind of kicked in again. But I am. You know, I'm not as bad as I think it's seasonal, and I've got no scientific proof behind that, Scottie.
Yes.
But for me, it seems to be a seasonal thing.
So are you better with the sunlight and all that sort of stuff?
I think the better weather, the better nights, the fresher air. No, just the winter time, I think, just because the amount of colds that are going around and germs and bugs. And
yes, and sad when you get that. What does SAD stand for again? It's SAD, and it's to do with light and daylight and natural light and all that, and it can have an effect on your mood.
That's, well, a lot of people get, like, I've forgotten the name of it, but it's like winter depression.
Yes.
And it's like the long months. Don't get me wrong, I love a clear night in the winter when you're looking up at the stars and it's just crisp, fresh air. But, you know, it's this weather we've had recently has been absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, for Scotland to get this, and I'm a bit annoyed at the moaners going, oh, now the water might be tight. I mean, Scotland floods and floods and floods. We've got loch after loch after loch.
Oh, well, I think by Friday, for the next few days after that, next weekend, it's going to be raining. I've checked the weather forecast, so enjoy the weather while we can. This will probably be our summer before the wet weather all comes back.
The wet weather comes back. There's David. We've got some good stuff here. Kareem, that was me calling. That's you there, of course. Flying Scotsman output volume. Yeah, we were all right with that. Used to listen to Scott FM in the 90s, says David Lamont. Ruby Slippers, what's up, Dinky-Doo? We love that. Cheers and 3 pints from Houston in Texas. Is that not beautiful?
just to let you know, Scottie, the last thing, I think we spoke briefly about my dog the last time.
Yes, I was going to ask, but then I thought, no, just let Kareem tell us.
No, she's still here. She's,
Good.
I say fighting fit, and she's fighting fit in her own way. The vets, I think veterinarians, it's a business, so I think everything is money orientated. So I've had to look at a different approach. They've said that she started kidney disease.
Right.
So, however, listen, Scottie, if you were to see her, she is, although she's got arthritis as well, she's running still, and she's fit. She's still very fit and healthy and happy, and that's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
I've changed her diet. I've changed her diet completely. No dairy products. I'm not, and it's amazing. I won't name the app, but there's an app where it's specifically you type in any type of dog food, and it gives you a percentage out of 100, and it breaks everything down. And I'll tell you one thing, see all these big expensive foods, especially for the kidney disease, you'd be surprised at how really bad they are and the amount of money you're actually wasting.
Well, it's like for humans as well. I mean, no names, no patrol, but for humans, the stuff that we're told is the best for us is not.
Yeah, listen, I've got an app, I won't name the app, and it's for humans, and it does the exact same, gives you out of 100, and and it goes into detail. If it's got a high risk, it tells you all the things like the types of cancers you could potentially catch, and it's scary to think it's things that you think's actually healthy, and when you actually scan it, it's scary. If more people should be downloading these apps for their animals, but also for themselves, just to really get an awareness about their diet.
Yeah, find out what's going on. Go on, sorry, Kareem.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll tell you one thing. If a lot of people did do that, it would free up a lot of space in the NHS in the future.
Yeah.
In terms for health, people being fit and healthy.
Well, you see, it's a strange way in a way, because everything's a business, and the NHS is a business. And, even all the money from the pandemic, huge money. I think it was 100 billion pounds went abroad, to pay for all the vaccines and stuff. It's a strange game. And when somebody said the NHS needs more money, I said, it's not the money into the NHS that bothers me, it's the money out,
Well, there's a lot of scary things happening, Scottie, and I'm not going to go too political.
No, we'll not go down the rabbit hole, because a lot of people get upset if they don't understand where you're coming from.
Well, with the NHS, you've got to love it, but all I'm going to say, not to get too political, is I can see it going if a certain party gets in. And that's all I'm going to say.
I think that's probably enough, and I think we know what you're saying. How lovely to hear you! Just an absolute joy as always. And we shall.
Thank you for taking my call, and speak to you soon again. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on.
Bless you, Kareem. Thank you. There's our Kareem. Always a good call, Kareem. I tell you now, Scottie, the beastie bugs are awful at this time of year. Also, invasive species are taking hold. Now, I want advice from you guys, right? Ant hills. I don't know anything about them, really. I mean, I've seen them and what have you, and I've seen them in the forest when I've been walking the dog, and they're a remarkable piece of work. But are ant hills harmless? Can you just leave them, right? I've been getting asked about this. Or do they need action taken? I tell you, when we're talking about beastie bugs. So who knows, if you're out in America there, yes, let's get some of the hillbillies on. Tell us, what do you do with your ant hills? Apart from play them a bit of blues. Wonderful colours, says Melinda. He's good stuff, is Kareem, Melinda. And also we loved Lewis last week. A great caller, and Tops Wahi. You should give us a call yourself, Melinda. It would be lovely to hear from you. I'm just wondering what it'll be a +44 from America. And then 141. Yes. So see how you get on with that. You're live at Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. How are you doing?
How you doing? Who's that? First name?
Jim calling in, Scottie.
Jim, lovely to hear you. I just need a first name. It doesn't actually have to be your name. Sometimes when people come on and there's a wee bit of nonsense going on, and you say, "What's your name?" They go, "It's
Oh yeah, no. I'm just getting a bit of input delay. I think it's because you're in Scotland, aren't you, Scottie?
Yes, and where are you, la?
Oh, I'm in the England, Scottie.
England, right? Any particular part? Are we allowed to know roughly, even within a few hundred miles?
I don't know if you are allowed, Scottie. I don't know if you are.
Are we not?
I'm in the north, Scottie.
You're in the north, right? We'll leave it at that. The north of England. Yeah. We don't want to get too accurate.
Yeah. How are you doing then? It's been a while since. It's been a couple of years.
I'm absolutely stunningly beautiful as always, as you can see.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're doing okay.
We're getting by.
What do you think of the current political situation then, Scottie?
Well, I don't go into it. I don't go into it too deeply, but it's pretty not good. Let's just put it that way. I can't remember it ever being such a struggle. See, when I was growing up, all your political parties, whether it was Harold Wilson, very experienced Labour man, just after the Second World War, what was he? Yes, he was the head of the Board of Trade in 1947, I think, Harold Wilson. So he went back a good bit. And then you had Edward Heath, that stuff. You had Harold Macmillan before them, Sir Alec Douglas Hume, lovely gent, proper gent. And they never really pushed themselves forward. If there was an emergency in the country, the Prime Minister would speak to the country, you know? But that was all you had. Now, they used to say politics was showbiz for ugly people. You know, well, I don't like to say that, but now they're very obsessed with, can they get a few column inches? Can they get a soundbite on the national news?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think, look, just get on and do your job, you know, because that's not what the job's about. Leave that to the spokespeople.
Yeah, we need people like, Anthony Eden, people like that.
Wonderful man. He had to wait too long in Churchill's shadow, of course, and he was not a terribly well man latterly, but a terrific man, Anthony Eden. Foreign Secretary, and he carried Churchill during the war.
Yes. Yeah, pushed through the pain, wasn't... Yeah, good man. Anyway,
and then he actually got stabbed in the back by Macmillan.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, by his own party, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a bit, I've seen it on the telly one, we don't know how accurate it is, but when Macmillan was meeting Her Majesty the Queen, a very young Queen Elizabeth, and saying, well, you see, then we had Antony's War, meaning Suez in 1956. We had Antony's War. And Her Majesty said, yes, but it wasn't just Antony's War, was it, Mr. Macmillan?
Yeah,
loaded, you see, a loaded comment. As if to say, I know what you've been up to. I know you've been stabbing Antony in the back type thing, but she wouldn't use that language, of course.
No, yeah, there's mirroring with Maggie Thatcher as well. Sort of similar things happen there, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, all that sort of stuff. I think the trick is if you're having an audience with the monarch, don't try and be a smarty pants, because they have access to far better information than you.
Yeah.
All that. Now then, how are things with you? What's happening?
Oh, nothing much, Scottie. You know, same old, but things are good, thank you. Yeah.
Things are good. Excellent. Well, it's lovely hearing you, and take great care of your dear self, and we'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, you too. Have a good night, Scottie.
Appreciate the call. Dinky-Doo. There we are. Great calls tonight, guys. I tell you. Now then, yes, Melinda, call in, says Elise. I'll tell you, yes, you should call in, Melinda, and give us a wee bit of chat. Things very sketchy politically. Yes, they are, actually, Melinda. Well, you see, you guys in the States are in a far healthier place than the rest of the world, I would say. How many other politicians have brought in £4 trillion this week? You're live on Scottie's Phone In. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie. It's me, Glenn.
Glenn, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not so bad, apart from having a bit of a upset stomach for the last 48 hours.
A touch of the upset system. Now, Glenn, if you have to dash off, you just get that phone down. Don't you worry.
I'm a lot better than I were previously for a couple of days.
It's always interesting. I don't want to go into too much technical detail, but if you've got an upset tummy, it's always interesting when you know it's just left you and you're well again.
Yeah, definitely.
You think and you almost know the second you're sitting there going, "Oh God, I can't take any more of this."
Feels like
and then
dying.
You feel I'm dying, and then suddenly you think, "Oh, that's better. I think I'll maybe have a wee bit toast."
Yeah, definitely. Something light on stomach, like they even said biscuits, don't they? You know, like
yeah, just something like that, and just sip a little bit of water because you need to rehydrate, Glenn.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and you don't want the wee ones.
You anyway, Scottie, you good?
I'm absolutely excellent in the pink. I'm loving the way everything's fitting in here with the phone in.
We're still ticking along, aren't we?
We're kicking along, and here we are, Glenn, all these years on, and I've been talking to them in Sheffield. You know about the new radio station for Sheffield?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sheffield and South Yorkshire Essentials.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and it's going to take over because they're slowly phasing out the big local stations. I personally think that the authorities should advertise another round of big local FM licenses.
I don't see why not, to be honest.
You know, because Sheffield loved its local radio. Oh!
Would you ever do a live on TV? Would you ever consider getting your channels to go live on terrestrial TV, like?
Well, it's difficult. You see, the problem I've got is everybody would love to have Scottie McClue on the radio or television channel. But you've got programmers who worry about their job because they don't understand how voice, news, stuff like that works, right? So they're used to programming music in a computer and getting their salary. And they're happy with that. They don't want to rock any boats. Now, the truth is I don't rock boats, yeah? But I do take things to the edge, but then you get the huge audience.
You'd like to stir things up a bit, Scottie.
Well, we have to stir things up. We have to say, look, let's get it, because everybody's got a different opinion. And my job is not to divide. That's the job of politicians. My job is to bring people together. So what I'm doing is taking a hodgepodge, a viper's nest of opinions, and making some sense out of them.
There's too many sheep online, isn't there?
Yeah. So you know, what you've got to say is, look, there's nothing bad about this. There's no hate. There's no what have you, no what do you call it, misogyny, none of that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be holding people to account.
Everybody wants to be following somebody, don't they, kind of thing at times, and being.
They all need to be following, and you see all the rest of it. What we did with McClue is a right good look at everything, and says, okay, let's take it to bits for you.
I mean, if a person's not looking into their own strengths and weaknesses, and they're looking at somebody else, then they're not showing the true qualities to humanity, are they?
No. We you know, we need to go. This is why I'm loving Mr. Trump, because he just speaks fine. Here's somebody in love with me. They're going, hun, They're calling me hun. Isn't that beautiful?
We're all unique in our own individual people, aren't we?
We are. We absolutely are. There is no doubt about that. It's wonderful.
We've all got our strengths, haven't we, so to speak?
So to speak. Well, of course we have. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Do you remember that?
That's what makes us who we are, innit, as individuals. Are you following the Eurovision by any chance, Scottie, tonight?
I haven't tonight. How's it going?
I don't know. There's probably, they always say it's a little bit PC, don't they? A bit fixed kind of thing.
Well, I used to always say, Dinky-Doo, there's Terry saying Dinky-Doo. I used to always say, you know, get, well, we're telling people tonight, you know, look at it on your phones and get McClue on the telly. Let's prioritise it. What's more important, Scottie McClue's phone in or, you know, the Eurovision? And people have to make a decision.
Definitely. Graham Norton does it for UK now, Scottie, background.
Brilliant. Yeah, we used to love Terry Wogan. Do you remember Terry Wogan?
Legend, proper like blankety blank and...
Yeah, I love the man. And I love Graham as well. Very, very good. Very funny. You know, one of the few shows still working properly, you know.
You could have been an host on a voiceover in background of Eurovision, Scottie.
Done that. Good evening. Welcome to Eurovision.
The results are now in.
Oh, yes, getting very, very tight. My dear man, I'm going to have to press on, but you take great care.
Last time we won Eurovision, I think it was 1997, Scottie, I think.
97, the year I came to Hallam.
Yeah, I think Ireland's won a few as well, aren't they?
As soon as Scottie McClue rocked up at Hallam FM, the world started to go good.
Brilliant, Scottie.
Dinky-Doo, Glenn.
Anyway.
So are you.
Okay, Scottie, anyway.
Ta-ra-la. Bless you. Love to the family. That's our Glenn. Trump and Farage. We need Farage in power. He talks more sense than any of the other numpties, says Big G. So there's an opinion for you, I tell you. Robert says, being yourself and standing for real values has become outdated. Right, Robert. Good man. Lonesome Don says, hi, Scottie from Canada. There we are. Rancor says Melinda. I tell you. Scottie used to jam the switchboard when he was at Scott FM. And we did, David. You're absolutely right. God, the phones are busy tonight, Lal. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Dirk.
Buck.
Dirk.
Dirk.
Yes.
Dirk. Lovely to hear you, Dirk. Dinky-Doo.
Lovely to hear you, Scottie. Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo.
Here to speak about Reform UK.
Well,
what is your opinion on that?
I don't discuss political parties on here.
Oh, do you not know?
But still good of you to ask. No, don't apologise. You have nothing to apologise for. I mean, they're making remarkable inroads, and I think they're unnerving some of the longer established people. I tell you. So there we go. Now then, what have we got? What's Rancor, Melinda? Tell me more. Manners and respect, says Janet. There's the wonderful Joanna. Evening, Scottie. Hope you're well. We're very well, Joanna. Dinky-Doo. Mwah! Lovely to have you with us, I tell you. It's quiet without Topswahey. Oh, shh. Yes, maybe he'll come on like Santa coming. Do you remember we all used to go, shh, nice and quiet, because I think we're going to have a visitor. And then in would come Santa. Last train to Penzance. I know Penzance, Carbolic. I loves Penzance. There we are. Now, who have we got? It is, says Janet, he makes me laugh. Yes, we love Topsway. He's fantastic. Me too, says Susan. So there we go, absolutely. So we've got the Tops fan club. The Tories and Labour these days are only in it for what they can get out of it. Well, do you know, Big G, the evidence does point to that. You know, how much money are they bringing into the country? How much cheaper is your petrol? How much cheaper is your diesel or your fuel? How much cheaper is your mortgage? How much cheaper are your power bills? Yeah? Because, I mean, the first thing that seemed to happen was let's rob the pensioners and then we'll go for the disabled. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Who's that?
Oh,
I think you have to turn down your speaker.
I'm coming down. Hello.
Hello, how are we?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm Dinky-Doo. I'm better for hearing you. Do we have a first name? Just a first name?
Hi, David.
David. It's lovely to hear you,
Yeah.
David. Dinky-Doo.
It took me 30 years to get through to you here.
Well, I'm very glad I took your call.
30 years I've been waiting.
30 years and here you are. Welcome.
1995 on Scott FM. And I used to cry laughing every night.
That was a great show, I've got to say it myself.
I couldn't phone you because I was in Berlin.
Oh, you were in the bar, hell, the big house.
And you all, it was absolutely great. The shows were brilliant.
Well, the boys used to love it and they used to write to me. And I remember it wasn't Berlin, it was one of the other jails down south. I remember I got a big sheaf of letters. And of course, they were all censored and everything. But I was talking to one of the governors and I said, all these boys are telling me, Governor, that they shouldn't be there because they never did it. And he said, oh, yes, Scottie, he says, I've got 500 innocent folk in here.
Oh, that's true. I was innocent.
Of course, everybody was. Do you remember we used to joke with the alphabet soup? We say, don't give them alphabet soup or they'll be sending messages.
No, hey, I used to cry laughing, man. I remember you wanted to ban the dogs.
Ban the dogs.
You said,
Oh,
you
God.
were going to ban dogs. You have to keep police dogs, and I was crying laughing.
And the dogs and the big hoose.
You know?
Do you know, a lady phoned me one night, David, and she says, Scottie, she says, I've 4 boys in the nick. And I says, stop. I says, have you got a man? She goes, oh, aye. I said, and he's not in, is he? She said, no, he's sitting here. Oh, that's the rest. Get the boys out. I'll tell you. Well, listen, it's lovely to hear you, and I take it life's treating you okay now.
Oh no, fantastic. Yeah, it was only a wee hiccup.
A wee hiccup, absolutely. Yeah, we all get that. Somebody said I had the hiccups one day, and somebody said you're needing a fright. So I had a look at my gas bill. Listen, it's so lovely to hear you. You take care of your dear self, and a big dinky.
It's actually nice to see you because you used to hide. You used to have to hide and get driven into the studio because everybody wanted to kill you because you were the most controversial person on the radio.
That's right. But I remember telling the boys in the big house, and they said, "If you ever get any problems, Scottie, give us a shout, son, and we'll sort it."
Hey, I'm glad to see you on the YouTube here.
Oh, brilliant. Love you lots. Great to hear you. I better dash. We're running out of time.
Okay.
Tarala. That's what I thought, man. That's it. We're going to have to go. Good night, everybody. And God bless you. Ta-ra, lads.